Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've always been curious about this one, and now that a friend picked one up, we can finally talk about it. His experience, start to finish. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer was initially looking for a large display with a KVM switch to easily manage both a personal desktop and a work laptop. While the online description incorrectly listed this monitor as a smaller size, our reviewer was pleased to discover it was actually the larger 32-inch model they desired. The search initially led them toward OLED ultra-wide options, praised for their incredible visual quality. However, after seeing display models in a store that showed signs of image retention and burn-in, the decision was made to stick with an IPS panel. This choice eliminated any long-term worries about screen degradation and the hassle of panel maintenance. Furthermore, our reviewer found that text clarity was superior on the IPS display, a critical factor for productivity and work-related tasks, and ultimately preferred the additional vertical screen space of the 16:9 aspect ratio over an ultra-wide format. Upon setting it up, this client found the out-of-the-box experience to be excellent. The picture quality was impressive with no dead pixels, and gaming features like G-Sync were detected and enabled automatically without any need for tinkering. The physical design also earned praise for its heavy, stable stand that doesn't consume much desk space, unlike the V-shaped stands common on other models. The KVM functionality is the main highlight, switching inputs automatically when a new device is powered on or connected, which is a major convenience. However, there are a couple of important notes for new owners. The monitor does not include the necessary USB-C cable, and a high-quality one capable of handling significant data and power is required for the KVM to function correctly. Additionally, the USB-C power delivery feature is turned off by default and must be manually enabled in the on-screen settings menu.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer was seriously impressed with this monitor, especially considering the price point for a 4K 144Hz display. Right out of the box, the colors were surprisingly accurate. I ran some ghosting tests, and at 144Hz I didn't notice any ghosting issues at all. The menu system is pretty standard for the brand, nothing too fancy, and while I wouldn't have minded a few extra features, the picture quality is so good, it's hard to complain. I was coming from a 240Hz 1440p setup, so I wasn't sure what to expect from a 27-inch panel, but I was honestly blown away by how good 4K 144Hz looks. Games like COD, Fortnite, and RDR2 were noticeably sharper and more immersive. I initially thought I'd stick with my old monitor for fast-paced shooters, but the clarity of 4K at 144Hz completely changed my mind. If you're on the fence between a 4K 144Hz monitor and a 1440p 240Hz one, and your graphics card can handle it, I would definitely recommend going with this one. Now, it's worth noting that while the visuals are fantastic and gameplay is smooth, the HDR isn't top tier, and the color range isn't the widest out there. Also, it's a bit pricier compared to some other 144Hz 4K monitors. However, it has all the necessary ports like HDMI, DisplayPort, and USB-C. It's pretty ergonomic with tilt, swivel, and height adjustments to get it just right. If you're not specifically targeting 4K gaming, maybe a 1440p screen makes more sense, and if amazing HDR or a super wide color spectrum is essential, you might want to look elsewhere. But overall, this client thinks this gaming monitor is a fantastic option that delivers a great experience with its outstanding picture and smooth performance.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer has been using this monitor for a few weeks now and is incredibly happy with it, especially with their MacBook Air M2. The convenience of a single cable for charging and display connection is a huge plus. Our reviewer primarily uses the monitor for business tasks, followed by streaming videos and the occasional gaming session, and it excels in all areas. They appreciate the high refresh rate, resolution, screen size, and clarity. The included stand is also fantastic, offering tilt, swivel, and height adjustments without taking up too much desk space. The display's colors are vibrant, perhaps a tad saturated, but adjustable. The brightness is excellent, and the matte finish effectively minimizes glare. However, there's one minor annoyance for Mac users. Every time the monitor is connected, a disk image titled No Name mounts in Finder. Ejecting it only results in it remounting almost instantly. Upon disconnecting, a barrage of disk not ejected properly errors pops up, especially if the computer has been connected for an extended period or has been in sleep mode. This client contacted support and learned it's a known issue with Apple Silicon Macs related to how macOS interprets the display's addressable ROM. It doesn't occur on Windows, and there's currently no fix available. While they acknowledge Apple might potentially address this in future OS updates, they're not particularly optimistic. Despite this small inconvenience, this reviewer hasn't deducted any points from their rating, as the benefits of the monitor far outweigh this issue. In fact, they found a solution online and shared it as an update to their review a month later. It involves using terminal to globally disable disk not ejected properly notifications. While it worked for them, they recommend proceeding with caution and emphasize that they cannot provide support if something goes wrong. They understand that it only applies to a small percentage of the monitor's users who also us.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.